Buenos dias, maayong buntag Zamboanga Peninsula. Welcome sa Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas. Hatid ng Presidential Communications Office through Philippine Information Agency. Ang programang ito ay para sa mga iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno upang ilahad ang kanilang mga programa at serbisyo sa taong bayan. And we are live at PIA Western Mindanao Facebook page and other government agencies' Facebook pages. Also, we are hooked up at Radyo Pilipinas. Again, welcome po sa lahat ng ating mga viewers and welcome also to all our media partners who are watching all over Zamboanga Peninsula from Isabela City, Basilan, Zamboanga Sibugay Province, Zamboanga del Norte Province, and Zamboanga del Sur Province. And of course, ang mga media partners na kasama natin ngayon sa ating venue from Zamboanga City. Again, welcome po sa lahat ng ating manonood at ito po ang Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas. Sa ating episode po, ang ating panauhin ngayong araw ay ang Department of Science and Technology. Hindi na po natin patatagalin. We would like to welcome all our guests. For this morning, let's welcome first, we have Engineer Gerardo Parot, the Provincial Director of Zamboanga del Sur. And of course, we also have Numan Aljani, the Provincial Director of Zamboanga del Norte. And last but not the least, we have Jennifer Pidor, the Provincial Director of Zamboanga Sibugay Province.
Buenos dias, Ma'am Myra. Good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology Region 9, alongside my esteemed colleagues, the Provincial Science and Technology Director, it is an honor that I join you today at this Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas. This event offers significant platform to celebrate and share the collective achievements of the DOST-9 as we emphasize the vital role of science and technology in driving innovation, progress across Zamboanga Peninsula and beyond. We are proud to share that the DOST refocused its flagship programs and aligned funding priorities to achieve the outcomes that promote human well-being, foster wealth creation, reinforce wealth protection, and ensure environmental sustainability. These core pillars serve as our compass, inspiring us to optimize the impact of science and technology for the benefit of all. As we present the milestones of our department today, we are reminded that these successes are not just mere outputs. They symbolize real, transformative changes in the lives of Filipinos in Region 9, from advancing smart and sustainable communities through innovations, empowering micro, small, and medium enterprises with technological solutions, strengthening research and development initiatives, developing scientific and technological human resource, to initiatives promoting disaster resilience, among many others. These accomplishments, ladies and gentlemen, embody our commitment to a more progressive and sustainable future for our communities. At DOST, we firmly embrace our role as a catalyst for change, remaining steadfast in our dedication to providing solutions and opening opportunities. Today, I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the hardworking teams at DOST-9, our partner agencies, stakeholders, and the communities that inspire us to innovate continuously. Our collaborative partnerships have made DOST-9's accomplishments possible. I would also wish to sincerely thank our valued partners and friends from the Philippine Information Agency, the members of the media, both on-site and online, and the televiewers who are tuning in today. Your support magnifies the impact of our endeavors and reinforces the importance of our mission. Ladies and gentlemen, to provide a more vivid glimpse of our journey, I invite everyone to watch the audio-visual presentation we prepared that captures the highlights of DOST-9's achievements in 2024.
Buenos dias a todos. DOST-9 is delighted to share its accomplishments in 2024. Technology transfer and adoption. Fueling innovation and accelerating technology transfer, 19 DOST-developed or funded technologies was successfully transferred across Zamboanga Peninsula. Setup. Through DOST Setup Program, MSMEs are assisted through technology upgrading, improving efficiency, and strengthen competitiveness of small enterprises, generating 458.7 million in gross sales, funded 37 projects in 2024. Local local GIA. The local grants in aid continues to impact communities in the region, assisting at least 20,000 beneficiaries. "23 projects funded, including 6 R&D initiatives approved. CEST. To ensure an inclusive development, CEST program funded 15 projects in the region. This program supports IPs, communities in GIDA, women organizations, communities with conflict, and other marginalized sectors. Beneficiaries are provided with S&T interventions to enhance their quality of life, including tsunami alerting station, Starbucks, and others. RSTL, the Regional Standards and Testing Laboratories, remains robust in providing testing and calibration services to paying and non-paying customers. S&T Scholarship. The DOST Scholarship Program continues to provide opportunities to aspiring STI champions, boosting human resource pool to support the development of future generations. SSCP. 3 projects were implemented for Smart and Sustainable Communities program, including the newly inaugurated Explore Dipolog mobile application, 6 e-trikes, and 2 charging in minute stations in the Pitan City, supporting a sustainable and digitally empowered future. iStart. The iStart program, now under the SSCP, has received manifestations of intent from 5 LGUs, including Dipolog City, Dapitan City, Ipil, Aurora, and the provincial government of Zamboanga, Sibugay. A key milestone is the development of STI plans for these LGUs during the mainstreaming workshop. GRIND. The Grassroots Innovations for Inclusive Development, or GRIND program, empowers local communities by harnessing homegrown solutions. Currently, there are 35 GIs identified, where 5 of which are given initial assistance. Portasols. 100 units of portable solar speed drying trays have been successfully deployed in the region in 2024. Portasol safeguards crop yield by providing an efficient drying solution. iForward. The iForward program provides opportunities for OFWs or their families in the Philippines, where 10 of them have completed trainings under Phase 1. WHWise. WHWise project, led by PSHERD, empower women entrepreneurs through training in pitching, marketing, and social entrepreneurship. 5 women emerge as winners for regional pitching event, while 2 women-led enterprises from Region 9 emerge victorious in the national competition. Research and development. 6 proposals were funded for R&D under LGIA and 1 funded through the Regional Research Fund. MOUs are signed, institutional visits and industry consultations are conducted with member institutions to strengthen collaboration within the consortium. STIs or facilities established. DOST-9 continues to strengthen with the establishment and maintaining of key facilities across the region. These hubs serve as catalysts for research, business incubation, and technology-driven innovations, fostering regional development. DRRM. Region 9 champions disaster preparedness. As Vice Chair for Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, DOST-9 integrates science and technology in DRRM. Region 9 became the first in the Philippines to complete all 5 REDAS software modules. Awards and recognition. DOST9 continues to excel in promoting STI and is recognized for some prestigious awards. NWMC. DOST9 actively supports the celebration of National Women's Month. Here's the lineup of activities in support to the celebration. Here at DOST9, we are committed to continue to providing and opening opportunities.
Thank you very much, DOST9, for the comprehensive accomplishment report. Now we will proceed with our question and answer portion na po. Pero uunahin ko muna yung mga katanungan mula sa ating mga media partners from different provinces who are also watching us live. So first question po is from Zamboanga del Sur Province. How is DOST9 enhancing cooperation among investors, businesses, and schools in Zamboanga del Sur? Engineer?
Thank you, Mamaira, for the question. PSTO Zamboanga del Sur is fostering collaboration in terms of promoting for the businesses. We promote our program, the Small and Medium Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program, wherein we help the micro, small, and medium enterprise. To the students, we have our scholarships. No? We have scholarships for the grade 6, grade 12, and the second year college, wherein they can take the scholarships and be supported by the UST once the avail of the scholarships.
Thank you very much. Next question, follow-up po. How about po yung collaboration with other government agencies to further strengthen innovation within Zamboanga del Sur?
We collaborate different partner agencies through attending meetings, no, interagency meetings, wherein we promote our programs and projects. Also, on times that there are invitations by other government agencies na hindi tayo makapunta kasi usually sa considering na konti lang tayo, we ensure that we inform the other government agencies that we cannot attend the meeting and whatever help we can give, they will just coordinate with us.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Parot. Next question po will be coming from Zamboanga Sibugay Media. On research and development po, many innovations developed through DOST funding don't seem to reach mass production or commercialization. What's stopping local research from becoming industry ready?
Yes, Ma'am Myra. That's true, no? One of the challenges really of our local researchers is their scaling up to commercialization. And among the reasons behind this is possibly yung market alignment issues. Technically, meron tayong research outputs ng ating mga local researchers, but we know that we do not have the market that's ready to adapt the outputs. So that's why nahihirapan tayo na mag-commercialize. So DOST has recognized these challenges faced by our local researchers, and to bridge the gap, DOST has really strengthened its programs on technology transfer and commercialization, as well as we keep close partnership with our private sectors, because at the end of the day, really private sectors talaga yung investors, no, yung adapters ng ating mga research outputs. So as one of the initiatives of DOST is that we fund for the establishment of various technology business incubators and innovation centers across the region. So we actually at least have 5 in Region 9. We have for metals and engineering, we have for food innovation, we have for ICT, we have for tourism, among others. So when the local researchers avail of the services of these facilities, they are able to equip themselves with necessary tools, funding even, and of course, yung pinaka-importante, yung mentorship. When they are being mentored by the technical experts of these innovation centers and incubation facilities, they tinetrain sila na mag-generate ng idea, to come up with that idea na talagang worthy of investing, and to talagang i-improve pa yung idea na talagang worthy siya to be commercialized at the end of the day. So, with that interventions of the DOST, with the partner institutions natin, mga academe and industries, we're able to craft a path for our local researchers and even innovators to really go hanggang makarating sila sa commercialization stage. So, yun po, DOST is really serious in its effort to close the gap between local researchers, local innovators, and the market po.
Thank you very much. Next question po. DOST promotes sustainable and climate-resilient technologies, yet some local communities still rely on outdated and environmentally harmful practices. What is the agency's role in pushing for real adaptation at the grassroots level?
Yeah, just to reiterate yung na-mention kanina sa opening statement, DOST has recently refocused its flagship programs into 4 core pillars. And 2 of this answers the question, yung fostering wealth protection as well as yung sustainability. On the question of promoting sustainable and disaster-resilient technologies, DOST has been implementing one of our flagship programs, the Community Empowerment Through Science and Technology, wherein we really touch base to the grassroots communities. So we touch base with the local government units, with NGOs, with our partner agencies, and even the community, yung community leaders, to really ensure na the technologies that we provide sa ground are tailor-fitted to the unique needs of each of the locality. So talagang they will appreciate what the technologies are. And in our implementation of CES, the program, we have various entry points. First, on the livelihood, ensuring the sustainability of the technologies is that we make sure na yung resources, yung raw materials na gagamitin for livelihood projects are already abundant in the locality. Or there are specific examples like we made use of agricultural waste of the community and we convert it into value-added products. So take for example, very specific yung project natin in Mabuhay, Zamboanga, Sibugay, we converted agricultural waste into cocoa coir. And then in terms naman of clean energy technologies, we promote in Zamboanga City yung mga solar-powered na desalination technologies in Basilan. Recent lang yon. And then also solar-powered na water desalination technologies. And of course, yung sa disaster resiliency naman na technologies, DOST-9 has rolled out already the REDAS software. REDAS stands for Rapid Earthquake Damage Assessment System, wherein yung mga LGUs natin across the region were already trained to use this software and to be able to simulate yung mga hazards brought about by earthquake, brought about by tsunami. So the communities need not experience those hazards firsthand, para makita yung extent ng damages. So with that software, with that disaster resilient technologies, we are capacitating our decision makers, our LGUs, to do informed decision making. So they can already incorporate in their contingency plan, disaster preparedness plan, or even in their evacuation plan, para naman maging maayos and inclusive and resilient yung ating development in the countryside. And on top of it all, ma'am, we put premium to education and capacity building. In that way, kasi we train really the direct beneficiaries of our project. In that way, they have somehow the sense of ownership of the technologies, and that ensures sustainability po ng ating mga interventions.
Thank you, ma'am. You were talking about education, so that leads po sa follow-up question natin that there have been reports of DOST scholars leaving the country for better opportunities abroad instead of serving in the Philippines. Does DOST have a concrete plan to prevent brain drain in Region 9?
Yeah. As DOST scholar, ako po ay DOST scholar graduate. As DOST scholar graduate, we are obliged, we are required to do service obligation in the country. So yung service obligation po natin is equivalent or equal to the number of years that you enjoyed the DOST scholarship. Like for example, nag-graduate tayo ng 4-year course as DOST scholar. So 4 years din, at least 4 years, we have to serve in the country. So while doing that, yung close partnership din ng DOST 9 with our local industries, with our local institutions, we encourage them to really create naman to really create an attractive career path for our DOST scholar graduates to give them reason to stay. Kung hindi man sa region, at least no, in the country, anywhere in the country. And aside from that, ma'am, we strengthen the promotion of our SNT scholarships para naman we encourage more learners na ma-incline sa science and technology. And on siguro on a greater scale, addressing brain drain, the country has this RA 11035 or the Balik Scientist Program. To counter brain drain, the Balik Scientist Program is a brain gain initiative naman of the country. Through the Balik Scientist Program, we encourage yung mga foreign-based na mga Filipino experts, Filipino scientists, engineers to come back to the Philippines and share their expertise in the country. So may mga incentives and benefits po na entitled no para sa ating mga balik scientists po.
Okay, thank you po. Next question po, anyone can answer, no? With the rise of AI and automation, many jobs are at risk. What is DOST doing to prepare workers in Region 9 for the future of work, and how will you ensure they aren't left behind?
Okay, good morning po. Thank you sa question. No? So sa atin, like in the programs that we implemented, no, naiintindihan natin, actually tinuturuan pa nga natin yung mga like enterprises o yung mga partners natin na embrace yung mga technologies, yung mga emerging technologies including artificial intelligence or AI. No? So, ang paggamit noon ay tinuturuan din natin how to responsibly use. No? Para sa atin kasi, the technology is there, but you still need people, no, who know how to navigate the technology or how to operate the technology. Kasi halimbawa, yung mga AI natin, kailangan pa rin ng prompt, no, for them to respond correctly. No? So yun yung tinuturo natin. We train the human resource, halimbawa for in an enterprise, so that they would be able to, correctly use itong mga technologies including AI. Sa amin, nakikita namin or we acknowledge yung big help of technologies like AI, like robotics, like automation, kasi this would make the processes, no, or the work like in our factories, in our processing areas, even in our like operations, no, sa office natin, kung gumagamit tayo halimbawa ng mga technologies na yon or ng mga tools na yon, we feel a lot easier or a lot better, no, na pa-facilitate yung ating work. It's just that we need to know how to correctly use them. No? So doon siguro, I think, rather than tinitingnan natin baka mawalan ng trabaho yung mga tao who used to utilize or do that, no? I think mas importante doon na tinituruan natin yung mga tao na yon how they can correctly use that technology.
Thank you very much, Booster. Next question po from Zamboanga del Norte Province po. Kanina na-mention natin sa ating presentation regarding the startup program. Can any business po ba apply for the setup program, or do they need to be involved or cater to technology and innovation?
Yes. Yung setup or small enterprise technology upgrading program natin has been there, no, for quite some times already. And we really acknowledge yung big contribution of the program in terms of upgrading yung mga micro, small, and medium enterprises natin. Not only in Zamboanga del Norte but across the region and the country. No? Ang requirements natin doon, this is an upgrading program, so we assume na they have been existing already, yung mga enterprises natin. No? For small and medium enterprises, at least they have been there, no, in business for at least 3 years. For micro naman, or yung sobrang liliit, up to 3 million na capitalization, at least nandoon na sila nag-ooperate for at least a year, no, or 1 year. Aside from that, na meet na nila halimbawa yung requirement na yon, kailangan din mag-qualify sila dito sa program, may tinatawag silang may ina-identify tayong technology needs, no? Or yung gap sa kanilang current halimbawa operation na kailangan nila ng technology intervention. Halimbawa, yung process nila ngayon manual pa, no? Or medyo slow, yung mga machine nila medyo outdated na, no? Kailangan nila mag-upgrade. So, yun yung pinoprovide ng program. One of the interventions that we provide is to upgrade yung kanilang facilities or yung technology. So, technology can be in terms of their process, pabilisin natin yung process nila, or bibigyan natin silang ng mas makabagong technology so that mas mabilis yung kanilang processes.
Okay. So far po, sa lahat ng mga projects ninyo sa Zamboanga del Norte, can you give us a brief description kung ano-ano ang mga pinaka-memorable in terms of innovation and community impact?
Okay. So medyo broad, no? Pero I can think of a lot of projects na tingin ko may mga malalaking impacts talaga sa community. So siguro sa setup, I'll start with setup. Nakita ko yung interventions ng DOST in terms of upgrading yung sa Zamboanga del Norte kasi is one of the major industries is the bottled sardines, no, yung paggawa ng sardinas na Spanish style sardines, no. Sa Zamboanga City yata naka-can, di ba? So Zamboanga del Norte is naka-bottle. Ang challenge doon yung mga processes doon ay ng mga processors natin. Actually there are a lot of processors. Gumagamit sila ng medyo manual na process, no? Yung the way ng pagluto, mga pressure cooker, ganyan, no? So, nakita ng DOST na kailangan, kung gusto natin talagang tulungan yung industry, kailangan mag-provide tayo ng needed technology for them to upgrade. So, doon i-introduce natin like yung technology ng water retort, no? Yung powered siya ng boiler, no? Na biomass din yung fuel para mas magiging clean yung energy na ginagamit natin. So nakita namin when we assisted at least 6 or 7 processors in the province, nakita namin yung talagang nag-improve din yung quality nila, no. Like when we say nag-improve, like they were able to secure yung license to operate from the Food and Drugs Administration. Nakakuha sila ng certification for their HACCP or Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. Yun yung requirement para talagang maka-market sila ng products nila, no? Not only locally but even abroad. So, under setup program yun. Nakita din namin yung mga fisher folk natin, Zamboanga del Norte kasi, especially yung municipality of Sibutad, is into bangus production. Nag-grow sila ng bangus. Ang ginagamit nila is yung bamboo na cage, no? So, ang bamboo cage, yung useful life niya, umaabot lang ng mga 6 months, no? Mahaba na yung 1 year, pero dapat kailangan muna ng heavy maintenance doon, no? So, parang it's very costly, though very lucrative yung business, pero very costly din yung maintenance at saka yung capitalization that they need to put in. So, in-upgrade natin yung kailang cages, no? Yung in-introduce natin yung Norwegian style, no? Yung Norwegian technology ng fish cage. Nakita natin yung community na yun talagang nag-boom din, no? Oo. So, ang next na concern na naman nila this time, sabi nila, nauubusan sila noong fingerlings kasi 'di ba kung mag-grow out ka ng bangus, you need yung fingerlings, yun yung ilalagay mo doon, yun yung mag-grow. So, do you believe no na yung source pala natin ng mga fingerlings came from as far as Indonesia, no? So, parang hindi siya practical ba, no? Kung ikaw ganun kang business pero you need to like export pa your raw materials from outside. So, tinulungan din natin, we partner with the Polog School of Fisheries. We established yung bangus broodstock and hatchery facility there so that magkaroon na sila ng source. No? So, yun yung ina-address natin, ma'am. No? So, siguro yun yung some of the projects that we can cite, but there are a lot actually. Siguro kung may time pa tayo later on, we can share more.
Okay. Good to hear po no, yung ating mga innovation, yung mga projects po in Zamboanga del Norte. Still po, question from Zamboanga del Norte pa rin. Regarding the upcoming app, Explore Dipolog, ano po yung mga features na ma-expect ng mga tao dito at kailan po siya ma-avail for download on Android and Apple devices?
Okay. Ang Explore Dipolog app is a component project no ng may ini-implement tayong bigger program which is Smart and Sustainable Communities Program or tinatawag nating SSCP. Ang layunin ng SSCP is to make no yung mga local communities natin, cities, municipalities, province, down to barangays na magiging smart and sustainable yung practices doon, no? So we introduce technologies na mag-address noon no yung magiging smart at the same time sustainable din yung isang community. So for the case of Dipolog, we introduce as pilot project natin doon yung Explore Dipolog app. Ang Explore Dipolog app is a mobile application no na pwede natin ma-download later on sa ating mga mobile phones na powered siya by Lungsod Solutions. Ang Lungsod Solutions is a platform developed by University of the Philippines Diliman with funding support from DOST also, no. Anong magiging laman noong Explore Dipolog app? Ang Explore Dipolog app, nagkakaroon siya ng different modules, no? So, ang first niya, magkakaroon ng City Hall Services module. So, lahat ng services ng City Hall, halimbawa, magkukuha ka ng business permits, magbabayad ka ng local taxes, magbabayad ka ng real estate taxes mo doon, or may transactions ka sa City Hall na gusto mong i-transact, you don't need to physically go to the City Hall, no? Just transact it in your mobile phone. That's City Hall Services module. Other module is may emergency module. So halimbawa ikaw, may kailangan kang response in terms of ambulance, may kailangan kang ambulance, no? May kailangan kang fire, response sa fire, Bureau of Fire, or may kailangan kang other emergency concerns, pwede mong gamitin yung mobile phone mo. Yung module na yun, it would redirect you to the emergency operation center ng city, no? So, yun yung emergency module. Other module is yung local products module. So, yung mga local enterprises natin na may mga various products, pwede din sila mag-display doon, mag-market ng kanilang products doon. Tapos, meron din siyang tourism module. Ang tourism module naman, ito yung iba't ibang, halimbawa, tourism sites, places to visit. Kung halimbawa bago ka doon sa Dipolog, saan ba ang magagandang puntahan dito? So nandoon na din. Or saan bang maayos na magstay? Maayos na hotel, accommodation, or restaurants, saan ba ang okay dito, no? So nandoon na din siya sa platform. Tourism module naman yon. Ang isa pa, yung tinatawag natin report and issue module. So halimbawa, yung local ordinary citizen ng ordinary Dipolognons, they can use the app to report an issue in their community. Halimbawa, may nagbarang kanal or drainage system, may natumbang poste ng kuryente, no? So pwede nilang picturean lang using their mobile app and i-upload nila lang doon. And it would redirect also to the concerned unit of the local government na nag-handle ng ganoong issue na yon, no? So kung makita natin, ito yung solution na gusto nating ma-introduce sa local government na yon, specifically in Dipolog City, para yung mga tao maka-experience ng a lot of convenience, no? At saka yung mga services ng government as magiging accessible, no? Madaling ma-access ng tao, considering yung halos lahat naman, no? Majority of us are using mobile phones already.
So with that, sir, no, in terms of technology and innovation, what can the public expect pa po from the DOST this coming 2025? Will be having the projects as advanced po ba as the upcoming Explore Dipolog?
Yeah, actually there are a lot also in our plate, no? Yung Explore Dipolog is powered by Lungsod Solutions. Ang Lungsod, meron din siyang other variation which is called Lungsod Metro, no? So, ang Lungsod Metro, bigger ang coverage niya. Hindi na lang halimbawa specific city. Pwede like Lungsod Metro Zamboanga Peninsula. So, pwede ang the various LGUs gumamit na noon, ay on board na sila doon, no? So, that can be also used, no? Titingnan natin kung okay yung halimbawa turnout ng Explore Dipolog, we can expand to that, no? Another thing is, sa amin, ang tinitingnan namin is under SSCP also, Smart and Sustainable Communities Program, we just launched yung Smart E-Mobility Project in Dapitan, yung electric tricycle with fast charging stations. Ang nakikita namin, very positive yung feedback ng mga yung tao doon, including the drivers, kasi there would be a lot of savings sa fuel cost. Kasi nga libre yung not totally free, no? Pero yung cost of charging is a lot cheaper, no? Kasi yung charging stations natin powered siya by solar panels, no? So yung requirement natin, hindi na siya gumagamit ng power from the grid. No? So a lot of big savings talaga. No? So kung magpapacharge ka doon, 30 minutes lang because it's very fast. No? Fully charged na yung electric tricycle mo, you can run already for a day. No? So yun. So ang gusto natin, sana, ma-expand sana ito to other areas. Considering yung, di ba, yung setup natin sa Zamboanga del Norte, like cities of Dipolog, Liloy, Sindangan, ito yung mga areas na talagang tricycle din ang mode of transportation to get around, di ba? Including like even Zamboanga City, Pagadian, ito yung mga gumagamit talaga heavily ng tricycle. So nakita namin very helpful ito. Lalo na ngayon, meron ding bagong technology na funded din ng DOST na yung mga conventional tricycle natin na tumatakbo ngayon can be converted into an e-trike. So may na tayo, may kit, no, yung conversion kit na tinatawag nila, papalitan na lang, tatanggalin na lang yung combustion engine sa tricycle existing mo, papalitan siya ng conversion kit at pwede nang tumakbo as an electric tricycle. So yun yung parang naka-pipeline natin gustong gawin sana this year, hopefully.
So we are hoping no na ma-establish natin yung ganung mga innovation. Next naman po na question from our media in Basilan. Does DOST po have any plans to establish a new office in Isabela City to better serve the local residents? If so, what is the timeline for this initiative?
Hello. Yes. Actually po, nasa plans po talaga natin yan, no, sa DOST 9, considering that we are expanding already our workforce, and that's really part of our plan. Kasi currently we're hiring plantilla positions for the regional office, and that covers Isabela City and Basilan Province. So hopefully soon, we will already have an office there, a satellite office in Basilan po.
Follow-up question po. If there are no immediate plans to open a new office in Isabela City, how can Isabeleños engage with DOST services without traveling to Zamboanga City?
Yeah, as part of our initiatives to really reach out to our constituents in Basilan, actually yung ating city office, it's Zamboanga City and Isabela City office, which is located here in the regional office. No, talagang it's part of their area of responsibility to really convene our local government units, no, in Isabela City and Basilan. In fact, we already have mga projects newly approved, no, yung mga projects natin. We have a flagship program doon na implement yung CEST amounting to more than 5 million pesos for Basilan Province. We have yung pinapilot natin na solar-powered water desalination technology. It will be in Lampinigan Island, so in Basilan. And also we have mga set-up projects din, no, na malalaki ang project cost in Isabela City. So if the question is how they can avail of DOST services even without going to Zamboanga City, rest assured that the technical people of DOST 9 in Zamboanga City and Isabela will go to you po at your doorstep. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Jennifer. Next po, this is a question from Sir Jung Francisco of Mindanao News and Information. Many rural areas have indigenous knowledge systems. Has DOST explored integrating local wisdom with modern science for sustainable development?
Yeah, we have a project, a special project ito, no, yung The Grind, the Grassroots Innovation. I guess PD No, no, will have to elaborate on that program on that project as the project lead po for Region 9.
Okay, so tama yun, no, yung mga local knowledge or yung mga indigenous technologies even, no, kasi yung mga communities, grassroots communities, nakita natin there are a lot also of technologies from their area, no. So, kaya na-develop din yung program natin na GRIND, Grassroots Innovation for Inclusive Development. Ito yung target niya talaga, yung mga grassroots communities, informal sectors, na nag-generate din ng knowledge or ng technologies. No? So, paano natin sila matutulungan? So, under this GRIND program, there are a lot also of package, there is a package of interventions that we provide, including yung providing them initial funding assistance so that they can further develop yung technology or knowledge na yon. Or if they need, for instance, experts to further help them. Or kung yung technology na develop nila kailangan ng protection in terms of intellectual property rights, may provision din tayo ng assistance na yon, At tutulungan natin sila magkaroon ng, kung halimbawa, patentable yung technology, patent, utility model, industrial design, trademark, So, kasama doon sa ating package of assistance. So, ang coverage noong Grassroots Innovation for Inclusive Development or GRIND, ito yung mga like technologies in artisanal crafts or yung mga crafts na di ba most in the communities yung mga weave natural yung mga original na weave ng community, either textile yan, either other material yan, may mga unique silang ganon na product. Pwede din siya doon sa heirloom recipes, yung mga luto nila, yung mga pagkain doon sa community na very unique, pwede din natin tulungan, like i-package natin ba ng maayos so that they can sell it at a better pricing. Covered din niya yung mga ethnobotanicals or yung, di ba sa mga, especially sa mga IP communities, ang daming mga indigenous, yung mga yung mga plants, mga herbs na pwedeng gamitin as ethnobotanical na may use siya in terms of either to cure or to as food. So, yun yung pwede nating tulungan sila in terms of either kung halimbawa kailangan nila ng further research and development support, pwede tayong mag-provide ng R&D support sa kanila. Either we can deploy yung mga researchers, we partner with universities. Kaya if you can see from our initial presentation kanina, under GRIND, kasama din natin yung mga partners natin from higher education institutions kasi sila yung source natin ng mga experts na yon. So this is covered. So may specific program tayo to really help them.
Thank you very much po, Director Aljani. Next question po, there have been calls to turn Filipino research into marketable products. How is DOST supporting local inventors in bringing their innovations to commercial success?
Yeah, DOST has recently launched yung Propel program ng DOST. It's an umbrella program of the department wherein we really ensure, or this is a comprehensive intervention for our would-be innovators. Kahit may mga ideas lang kayo, if you are local researchers, you are local inventors, or just a very curious person at that, we have this Propel program wherein ang purpose talaga ng programa na natin ay to guide all these individuals to convert your idea into innovation and guide you through the process of technology transfer and commercialization. Yung tagline nga ng Propel program is facilitating innovations in the Philippines and propelling innovations from the Philippines. So yun po.
Thank you very much po, Director Jennifer. Next po, we will entertain questions na po from our media partners here with us po sa ating venue. First to ask po is Sir Marco Polo from Brigada News FM.
Good morning, ma'am, sir. Marco Polo from Brigada News FM Zamboanga. Timely, gusto lang namin talaga malaman itong weather condition for Zamboanga City and mas naapektuhan talaga ang Region 9. So is there any report from the Department of Science and Technology regarding mas advanced po na nalalaman kaysa po sa ating pag-asa dahil itong sudden change of weather, no, na condition na apektuhan sa whole Mindanao and particularly in Region 9. So paano po to? Paano nyo madidetect na mas maaga din baka magkakaroon ho tayo ng scenario like, since 2023 yung sudden change of weather na hindi natin nalalaman na magkakaroon pala ng matinding pag-ulan sa ilang bahagi ng Region 9.
Oo. Thank you, Sir Marco Polo. No? Oo. Though hindi talaga directly sa DOST, but since Pag-asa is also an attached agency to us. No? Oo. So, ang masasagot namin, because of the climate change, no, hindi talaga natin mapipredict yung may sudden change. Akala natin maaraw, no? Tapos biglang uulan. No? But all this weather yung forecast natin, no, available naman yan sa ang Pag-asa ay naglalabas ng daily, weekly, even monthly na bulletins, no, on the weather situation natin. So I think tuturuan lang natin yung mga tao natin na to sometimes check, no, itong mga weather bulletins na ito kasi this would help them, this would guide them, no. Kasi sabihin kahit na halimbawa today maaraw talaga. So, ini-expect natin tomorrow na maaraw din. Without checking the bulletin, so hindi natin malalaman na bigla palang uulan tomorrow. No? So, I think it's helpful na we also check itong mga ganitong bulletin. No? Kasi this would be helpful in guiding us to,
Meron ba tayong advanced technology na sinusuri itong bago pa makarating ang ating ulan na to sa ilang bahagi? Meron ba tayong advanced prediction or something like pwede natin ma-detect through technology?
Oh, yes, sir. With the Pag-asa forecast, I believe, no, very advanced naman yung mga technology na ginagamit nila. Oo. Siguro ang challenge lang siguro sa atin on how we can communicate better yung forecast na binibigay ng Pag-asa, no? Kasi we have like last month, we have big events in Dapitan and Dipolog. So, sine-check ko kung uulan ba siya by this time kasi may mga outdoor activities kami. So, I check the forecast. Nakita ko yung by this time, uulan siya. No? So we keep yung program na matapos siya before that time. And truly, sir, very accurate, no? I think by that mga 30 minutes lang siguro yun, yung after yung sa forecast, talagang umulan. So yung ganong situation. So I think the forecast, we don't have any problem, no, so far in terms of forecasting the weather. I think yung medyo challenge natin dito on how we can communicate, no. Kaya I think malaking tulong halimbawa yung mga media partners natin, halimbawa kayo, sir, very popular yung mga programs nyo, can share ba like in early morning, share this is the weather for the day, no. Kung halimbawa magdala kayo ng payong, this is the expected time na medyo may ulan, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, expect nyo na ulan kahit na mainit yan in the morning. No? So, ganun, sir.
Okay, the other issue, as we know, during our latest research for the Brigada News Philippines, itong artificial intelligence, ito ba may maapekto to sa mga media? So, nalalaman ho natin recently na probably magkakaroon na po ilang mga radio stations magsasara so far with the other television network sa pagkaalam namin from 5 to 10 years from now. So ang siyensya ba, ang science and technology, meron bang mga nakikitang mga mga probable causes para mga magsasara ang dahil meron na tayo mga ilan networks na sa buong Pilipinas, itong pagpasok po ng AI sa media industry, particular sa radio and television, na magkakaroon na lahat na sa internet na?
Oo, sige. Ako na muna, sir. Sa akin, sir, ang nakikita ko with the technology, no, as the technology modernize, ang challenge dyan, how you can catch up. Di ba, before naman, ang mga communication natin, wala naman yung mga cellphone, di ba? So, tapos, hindi pa yan smartphone before. Di ba? Nagmo-modernize tayo. So, ang challenge dyan, how we can, catch up. Halimbawa, for a media outfit, dapat ano yung tawag? You can adapt to the change or to the advancement in the technology. No? I believe, sa akin, personal take ko, hindi siya ma-phase out, but you need to transition kung saan papunta yung technology. Halimbawa, kung may AI na dyan, use AI to your advantage. Ganon po ang take ko, sir.
Okay, thank you. That's clear. Final on my part, this is for in education, sa part po ng education dito sa Zamboanga. Medyo high-tech na rin ho tayo sa mga technology sa secondary for the public and high school, particular in senior high. So meron pa bang mga other materials o other programs na binibigay ng DOST sa Department of Education para ma-upgrade ang science and technology sa kanilang subject matters?
Yeah. Yes, sir. No, that's a very good question. Of course, DOST has been very active in also assisting our education sector. In fact po, DOST has invested a lot in terms of funding yung ating mga library in a box. If you know, yung Starbooks po natin, it composed, isa standalone computer unit, nandun na po lahat, no? You can research on investigatory projects, mga technical trainings and all that, nandun na po siya. We call it Starbooks or the library in a box. And to complement that, meron din po tayong laboratory in a box. We call it naman Visor. So, kung dati tayo, no, kasi yung mga age natin, no, nung high school tayo, we just only see microscope. Pero hindi talaga natin talagang actually nagagamit kasi expensive, no, yon. But this time, this Visor, this laboratory in a box will capacitate our education sector and the students to really have a hands-on on at least 150 experiments sa isang box lang po. So we have already rolled it out across the region po. Siguro na sa at least ilang municipalities na, no, and cities ang nakatanggap nito in all areas. Zamboanga City, Isabela City even, and Zamboanga Sibugay, Del Norte, and Zamboanga del Sur. So rest assured po, DOST is really serious also in pushing forward advancement in the education sector on top po of our SNT scholarship programs.
Thank you so much, sir, ma'am. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po, Sir Marco.
Thank you, sir.
Next po, we have Ma'am Bershiba Sabaricos of Global Insight Media.
Good morning to everyone. Now that we are on the digital world, I would like to ask a question about how can we ensure the equitability access to ICT resources across the different regions, especially those in the hinterlands and in the islands. Do you provide them with a high-tier communication facility like Starlink or?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for that question. Actually, yung pong, kasi ang concern natin is yung mga far-flung areas, yes, ma'am, the countryside. So DOST has this program, yung Community Empowerment through Science and Technology. Through this program, we provide initiatives like yung sa digital literacy, no? Well, kung hindi man kami ang nagbibigay po ng training, we tap our partner agencies like DICT to do the digital literacy training for our beneficiaries. And on top of that, we also provide yung Starlink, no, na internet connection po to far-flung areas talaga. Just
Tier
to really...
Tier 1 sila, ma'am. Tier 1.
Ano po?
Tier 1 sila. They are more advanced. Kasi we don't need a relay station. It's with the satellite connected. So.
Yes po, oo.
But it's very expensive. Are you providing them with
Yes, ma'am. Especially if the need of that community is internet connection. So, we provide it po. Ang mga interventions naman po ng DOST is really custom fit to the unique needs of the locality po. So, if they need that connection, we provide it to them po.
Thank you po.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you po. Next po, we have Ma'am Sara Tulabing of the XAS.
Good morning, ma'am and sirs. Dito po sa Zamboanga City, ano po yung mga usually ina-avail ng mga taga-communities po ng mga programa at ano yung pinaka-list naman na dapat pa natin i-promote?
Okay. Zamboanga City po ang strength talaga dito because of marami tayong universities. Ang strength po talaga ay research and development. So siguro a major chunk of the budget for Zamboanga City and Isabela goes to research and development. But of course, we also ensure na equitable naman yung distribution ng ating budget. We also have projects on entrepreneurs, yung Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program. Actually po, ang budget niyan is equally divided siya in the 4 areas of Region 9. So Zamboanga City has its own share of the setup budget. So meron din po tayong mga businesses na nasa-serve to upgrade their processes, no, for them to avail technology innovation. And of course, they also have their share of the community empowerment through science and technology projects. Yung mga na-mention namin earlier, ma'am, na pilot, na solar-powered water desalination, that's, I think, 5 million pesos, if I am correct. It's in Lampinigan Island. And also, we have here also the solar-powered water disinfection system. Nasa Limpapa din yun siya. So talagang marami na din pong na-roll out na technologies, and rest assured na lahat naman ng communities na dapat ma-serve ay siniserve po. One community at a time.
Okay po. Yung sa list po na program na kailangan i-promote, meron po ba?
List program, siguro po in terms of yung sa technology trainings and technical consultancy. Kasi, siguro in comparison to the provinces, talagang meron kasi tayong mga interagency din, no, na mga pool of experts. So, we try our best to really provide the most needed technology needs, no, trainings and all that. But, ano naman, no? Kasi siguro capacitated na yung mga Zamboanga City-based na entrepreneurs, kaya hindi masyadong nakakapag-avail ng training. But meron kasi din talagang mga innovation centers, marami dito sa Zamboanga City. So most of the time, even yung mga taga Zamboanga Sibugay, Sur and Norte, they even go to Zamboanga City to avail of the services of the innovation centers. Kasi nandito po naka-house yung food innovation centers specifically in Zamboanga State Colleges of Marine Sciences and Technology. Dito din naka-house sa Zamboanga City yung metals engineering innovation centers with SIPSU and Western Mindanao State University. So a lot of the facilities are actually invested here po in Zamboanga City.
Okay, ma'am, other issue po, balikan ko po yung kanina yung concern natin sa brain drain. Sa overall po ng mga scholars natin, gaano kalaki po yung porsyento or maliit lang po ba yung porsyento ng lumalabas po ng bansa, and gaano po ka-responsive yung mga balik scientists natin na bumalik dito, as you have said earlier, na in-encourage nga po natin na makabalik po sila?
Yeah, as to the specific figures po, I do not have the figure at the moment, but we'll get back to you po siguro after this kapihan. But what I can share with you is that sa mga scholar graduates kasi natin sa DOST, we do tracking, no, even after they graduate, kung saan na sila nagtatrabaho, ano na yung line of work nila, aligned ba siya sa course na nakuha nila when they were still scholar. So we do monitoring, and at least naman, no, mga 70% ay namo-monitor natin, and they are pa rin, no, residing in the Philippines, working in the Philippines. And in terms of the Balik Scientist program, nakita ko po sa recent data ng website is nasa around at least 600 to 700 scientists po ang napabalik natin in the Philippines.
Thank you po, Ma'am Sara. Next po, we have Letty Melitante.
Good morning po. Ma'am, President Dr. Leslie Michelle Dalmasio of DOST said that basic research of human security is DOST top priorities. Like for instance, the problem of water, to have clear and suitable water for consumption, particularly during El Nino, El Nino phenomenon. But on the other hand, no other than President Renato Solidum Jr. said that he is asking scientists to focus in developing the solutions instead of coming up with products and afterwards find users for it. Your reaction? What in DOST 9, ano po yung ginagawa natin in as far as this concern?
Yeah, ma'am. Well, for DOST 9, we always it's part of our priority to roll out technologies that would address also yung water and sanitation, especially access to potable water. So yung pong ating technologies, like I mentioned, ito pong technologies like water desalination, that will produce potable water po. At least yung, if I remember it right, nasa 4,800 liters po in a day ang napoproduce nun ng technology na yon. And then we also have the water disinfection facility, at least 2,000 liters a day. So yung mga emergency scenarios po na kailangan natin ng potable water. So rest assured naman po in DOST, we roll out, we have existing technologies to convert and to provide access to potable waters in the communities po.
Ma'am, ito ba nga, you said existing technology, ano po yung taon pa ito? Is this the latest one or the oldest one?
Mga bago pa po ito. Actually, niro-roll out namin, kaya nga bago lang po ito siya na-roll out kasi mga bagong technology ready for commercialization po. There are kasi stages in commercializing technologies. Meron na tayong mga technologies na nandyan na, ready na, available na siya, but not yet ready for commercialization. So yung pong mga na-mention kong technologies na na-roll out natin, those are technologies that's already ready for commercialization. Kaya po na-roll out na natin siya sa communities.
Ma'am, ano po ito ni Secretary Solidum saying na he is asking scientists to find solution to the problem. Ano pong problem meron ang DOST?
Siguro yung context po nun is, yung na-mention natin is, instead of doing research outputs na wala namang market, wala namang ina-address na market needs, rather than doing that, we do it siguro, kung hindi man siya simultaneously, parang we make sure na whatever initiatives we do to have research or yung mga outputs natin ng research ay may ready na pong market. We solve real-world problems po. Hindi po siya problema ng per se, yung sinabi niya na to correct it, it's not problem of the USC, but problem of the world, real-world problems po. So para yung mga may gap po, ma-close po natin yung gap ng research outputs and the market needs po.
Can you specify what particular projects, ma'am?
Sorry.
Can you specify what particular project? Problems? Or
problem.
Oh.
Hindi na po ako lalayo, ma'am, yung isa sa mga research na na-fund ng DOST 9 in Zamboanga, Sibugay, recently we funded yung research on real-time determination of WAT. WAT stands for water, humidity, ammonia, and temperature in a poultry farm. So if you would note, marami po tayong mga poultry farms here in Region 9. So yung mga researches na ganon are worth funding because may mga real-life applications siya, may mga practical applications po yon. So in that way, we are ensuring ourselves as funding agencies kami sa DOST that we are not putting our investments to waste po.
Thank you very much po, Ma'am Letty. Next question po from RPN. We have Doc Cecil Abuy.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In relation to the question of Mr. Muta earlier, regarding AI, you said, sir, just to what was your statement earlier, to cope up with the AI, would it be possible for DOST to recommend or what's the term? Because AI now is becoming the source of disinformation and fake news to regulate AI? What's your take on this, sir? What's your comment?
You mean, sir, yung mga AI po na ginagamit halimbawa doon sa mga media, sinishare ng mga, ano tawag doon, yung mga Oo. So I think, sa DOST, though, I think, out of, parang hindi na sa amin, but I think more concern ng DICT, but nonetheless, I think ang sa DOST, yung nga na-mention ko kanina, more on like telling the public to check ano yung mga nandyan na material, And para sa akin, as a responsible e-citizen or yung mga citizen na nag-online, I think it's our responsibility to always double check, Ano ba yung nandyan? Totoo ba yan? Kung halimbawa, kasi pinopost lang dyan, tapos wala naman siyang credible source, So, I think it needs to be double checked. Kaya sabi ko, I think yung technology na yan ay nandyan para makatulong. Pero may mga disadvantages din. Can be also used to, yun nga, na-mention nyo kanina, to like, magpakalat ng fake news. So, para sa akin, I think it's parang challenge sa atin, hindi lang sa DOST, but most especially mga media partners, na i-educate natin, turuan natin yung mga tao na, ito yung mga nakikita natin online. I think, kung duda kayo, I think you need to double check. So I think yun lang, tuturuan natin sila how to be responsible e-citizen.
Yeah, I think for us, the learned ones, no worries, But for the millions of users, millions of social media users, how could they do that? How can they check the veracity of this AI? Because ang dami na, nakikita nyo si First Lady nandito nakaupo, si Digong lumalabas na uuwi na daw si former president because of AI, daming mga So, for us learned, walang problema. My worry is for the millions of users na siguro konti lang yung knowledge nila on technology.
Oo. Sir Cecil, napakagandang I think challenge sa atin ito. Hindi lang sa DOST, pero nandito din ang PIA. Si Ma'am Noemi nandito, si Ma'am RD nandito. I think challenge sa atin, baka we can come up with a comprehensive program to capacitate ba or turuan yung mga tao. I think para sa akin importante talaga na yung tao is ma-inform, ma-educate sila how to responsibly use social media, I think yun lang yung way natin talaga, Oo.
Okay. Thank you, sir. My follow-up question, my next question is on climate change. Have you received any proposals to mitigate climate change locally? Because ang lumalabas nasa national, Pero yung alam naman natin, each area may mga kanya-kanyang mga climate change problems. Meron po ba tayong mga proposals na natanggap locally from local researchers or local scientists?
Yeah. Sir, we have actually several projects, Like for example, integrated kasi siya sa aming flagship program na Community Empowerment through Science and Technology. Isa kasi sa entry point sa programa na yon is yung disaster, DRRM, Disaster Risk Reduction and Management. So, in that particular entry point po ng project na yon, we integrate interventions based on the needs of a particular community. Like for example, landslide-prone area sila or typhoon talaga stricken area sila. So, yung mga interventions is really custom fit po sa needs, sa unique needs ng area na yon. And usually ang mga partners natin on CES project are the local government units po. So, in a way, that is a very good partnership kasi at the end of the day, they are the responsible people naman to plan and to plan for the disaster and to mitigate the risk brought about by hazards.
Yeah, I hope you'll dig deeper into those activities of projects that you have been conducted with the LGUs. I hope you will be able to read between the lines my statement.
Sir Cecil, if I may add doon sa sinabi ni PD Jenny, no? Sa Ateneo, DOST Region 9 also funded yung Alerto program. Etong Alerto program integrates various itong mga early warning system natin na naka-install in different areas in the region. Pupunta doon sa Alerto system, no? So halimbawa, if you want to check lang yung umuulan ba in certain area in this particular, halimbawa in Ipil at this particular time, or gusto mong makita yung water level sa river doon sa Sindangan River, no? So you can already check doon sa Alerto system ng developed by ADSU, integrating all these itong mga early warning systems. Kasama na doon yung rain gauge, yung water level monitoring system, yung automated weather stations. So nandoon na siya sa lahat, no? So yun yung nakita kong one of the projects na funded natin locally, no? Though there are also some na mga other R&D projects also na combat, especially like in agriculture, no? Ano ba yung like developing itong mga technology that would make like the commodity more resilient, no, sa particular area na ito. So, ito yung mga initiatives na DOST is also open for funding, no, yung mga ganoong initiatives.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I stand corrected, but I think some of the Alerto projects are no longer functioning. I stand corrected on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Meron akong follow-up question regarding the AI technology, sir, no? Regarding the AI proliferation, using AI in disseminating misinformation. With that, sir, yung DOST ba, if ever po merong mga, especially our research and development in universities, if merong mga developments or merong mga technologies na pwedeng magawa in detecting AI-generated photos, kasi meron na po tayong software using AI-generated in words naman siya. So meron siyang detector, but how about for images, especially on videos? I think meron pong mga ganong developments na ginagawa. So if ever po may mga ganong innovation na magawa sa atin dito, sa mga universities natin, may mafa-fund po ba ito ni DOST?
I think ma'am, no, kasi I think early this year din, DOST has launched yung 8 big ticket projects under research and development. Kasama doon yung AI, no, yung under the Elevate program, because 8 nga yung areas na tinitignan. One of the areas is on artificial intelligence, no. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin DOST is supporting R&D activities, initiatives leading towards doon sa area na yun, no, or in that subject matter. So definitely kung may mga R&D like proposals, I think very good yun yung like that can detect if this is AI generated or this is having been manipulated by AI tools, no. I think that would be a very good area din na pwede nang and I'm sure DOST is ready to fund those initiatives.
That's a challenge na rin sa ating mga students, sa ating mga R&D. Okay, next question po from Sir Alan De Los Reyes of IFM.
Good morning, ma'am, sir. Sir, 3 years ago, in-encourage natin lahat ng mga tao na time na para tayo sa technology. Ito na nga yung e-bike dahil patuloy yung tumataas yung crudo at gasolina. So dito sa Zamboanga City, ang dami ng mga e-bikes. So sir, siguro sir, panahon na din para magtayo tayo ng charging station. Meron ba tayo sir dito sa Zamboanga City? For the public.
Yeah. For now, sir, no, thank you, sir, for that question. For now, we have one project muna on that, no, in Dipolog City, Dapitan City, in Zamboanga del Norte. But For sure po, since we are rolling out the Smart and Sustainable Communities Program region-wide, so ma-expect po natin na soon we will be able to see e-trikes across the region. It's actually for Zamboanga Sibugay, at least I can say that's part of our plan, no? That's part of our ways forward. Even the Explore app for sa amin it's province-wide. So kasi it's the way to go talaga, no, to be smart and sustainable. So to answer your question, sir, soon, I hope soon, no, you will see e-trikes and charging stations here also in Zamboanga City.
Fast charging ba ito, ma'am? Fast charging.
Fast charging in minutes, no?
Ilan oras? Minutes?
In minutes. That's why tinawag siyang charm, no? Charging in minutes.
Okay,
minutes lang po. 30 minutes full charge na ba, no? Yeah.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Interesting. Thank you po. Next naman, we have Sir Justin Bulanon of Radio Pilipinas.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Kumusta po yung status ng scholarship programs ng DOST here in Zamboanga Peninsula in both undergrad and graduate studies? Just for the record, ilan po yung mga nag-apply at natanggap po here in Region 9 for this year?
Yeah. For the year 2024, for this year kasi sir, 2025, wala pa, no? Mag-exam pa lang tayo this April 4 and 5 for our undergraduate scholarships. For 2024, we had 162 qualifiers in Region 9. So, and we're very happy to share na all 68 municipalities and 5 cities, meron po tayong natanggap na application. So, in that sense, we can say na yung promotion ng DOST of our S&T scholarship programs is very, intensified siya kasi we are able to reach out to all municipalities and cities. We actually tap our partners from the Philippine Information Agency to help us in the promotion of that scholarship programs.
Ma'am, may instances or cases po ba of scholars na di tinapos yung program and ano po yung sanctions in place?
Yeah. May mga instances po talaga na because of some reasons, no, hindi natatapos yung scholarship program. So talagang na-forfeit po yung kanilang scholarship, no? And talagang hindi na. But in some cases, depending on the reason why na ma-stop yung kanyang scholarship, baka pwede pa natin siyang ipa-continue should the student intend to continue schooling po.
And last, ma'am, paano yung mga interested po, paano po nila maano yung mga programs po ng DOST?
Yes, thank you for that question, sir. I'll take this opportunity to promote our S&T scholarships. We actually have several programs. We have for undergraduate, yung mga incoming college students who are sa S&T scholarship po, dapat to keep in mind na dapat priority as science, technology, and engineering courses lang po siya. So we have for undergraduate scholarships, we have for graduate scholarships. Kahit hindi po kayo scholar graduates during your college, but you intend to enroll to a master's degree or PhD degree in the fields of science, technology, and engineering, you may apply po, no? And then, of course, we are also helping the promotion of the Philippine Science High School. We have one campus here in Region 9 located in Dipolog City po.
Thank you,
so, yun po.
Thank you po. Next naman, last but not the least, we have Ma'am RG Antoinette Go of Zamboanga Times.
Yes, good morning po. Na-timing na nagkaano talaga yung namin question kasi doon ako pupunta sa Pisay po. Ma'am, gusto ko lang po kumusta yung Pisay, ma'am? Kasi alam ko, ang laki po ng coverage niya, Region 9, and then kung hindi ako nagkakamali, Basulta po. No? So, do we have any plans of opening another one to cater? Kasi ang laki. Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Zamboanga Peninsula. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong na lang. Yung po yung ko about Pisay. May plans po ba to expand po? To bring it closer sa ating mga kababayan?
Oo. Hindi lang ako sure, ma'am, sa status of the bill, but there is a pending, I think may pumasa na siya sa lower house, bill creating, no? Kasi ngayon, ang batas natin is only one per region, ang Pisay. Batas yan, ma'am. So, for you to open another campus, you need new law, no? So doon sa new law, ina-allow na ang at least 2 two campuses in per region, no. So tama 'yun. Sa Dipolog City kasi 'yun yung based sa assessment during that time when the team, no, ng DOST team were evaluating various areas na nagbid for the hosting of Philippine Science High School system, Philippine Science High School Zamboanga Peninsula Region Campus. Dipolog ang lumabas na most feasible, no. So kaya doon na host. And it would even now, no, nakita natin ang dami talagang estudyante na rin, no. Puno, they are, I think, full, no, yung capacity nila today, no. So tamang-tama at sa amin din, no, kaya yung initiatives din to, you know, to come up with another law, you know, yung para ma-allow na magkaroon tayo ng second campus in Region 9. Hopefully very very soon kasi this is part of the priority legislative agenda of this administration po. So, I think marirealize siya soonest, ma'am.
Pero suportado niyo po ito, sir?
Of course, DOST ang prime mover po, ma'am, ng initiative na yan.
How many students ba ngayon, sir, sa ating PSI so far? I'm
not very particular, but from what I know is at least yung per grade level is 3 sections sila. Ang PSI class size is 30 per sections. So at least per grade level, meron silang 90 students, no?
Last on my end, about sa ano lang, sir, update lang din sa Step Up, sir. Kumusta yung ating Step Up,
Set Up program.
Set Up.
Siguro, bibigay muna, si Sir Cherry sa Del Sur.
Update sa Set Up.
With regards to the sit-up program, no, we continue to, kasi yearly yan na program, mayroon tayong assistance para sa sit-up all throughout the region. So, continuous yan at by this time, I think parang nag-increase na mga sectors natin wherein we can assist the sit-up. No? May I add, yun lang sa yung sagot ni Pidino regarding sa Philippine Science High School. Sa bill kasi nakita ko na siguro we are also happy kasi ang proposed na site sa Philippine Science second campus ng Philippine Science High School sa Region 9 is in Zamboanga del Sur, doon sa area namin. Thank you po.
Alright, thank you po. Sir, may pahabol na question po tayo from Zamboanga del Sur. How is DOST helping Zamboanga del Sur Province, especially Pagadian City, to prepare for disaster, especially tsunami?
Sa Pagadian City po, mayroon na tayong na install, no, ng FIBOX, yung CITAS. CITAS stands for Community Tsunami Early Alerting Station, no, nasa San Pedro, Pagadian City. In case may tsunami, at least ma-forward na yung mga residents natin doon sa low-lying areas. Sa province po, we are coordinating with the provincial government to establish the tsunami early warning system. No? Doon natin ilagay sa municipality ng Tabina. We are just waiting to, kasi approve na yung budget na from the UST around, mayroon na tayo, kasi part ng program natin ng community empowerment through science and technology, mag-establish tayo ng various, maraming sites po ang na-identify natin sa CITAS, sa Community Tsunami Early Alerting Station. No? Yung choose naman, ilagay natin sa Tabina at may counterpart ang provincial government amounting to around 5 million for the structure, the base of the equipment. So yun po ang mga initiatives natin with regards to in terms of sa tsunami po.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, maraming salamat po sa ating mga media partners for your questions. And hopefully po, nasagot po no, lahat ng inyong mga katanungan. If ever po may mga follow-up questions tayo, wag po tayong mahihiya. No? Willing po si DOST to answer your questions po or to give details po sa inyong mga katanungan. With that, before we end our program, we would like to hear closing message from our guests this morning. First, we would like to hear from Engineer Gerardo Parot, the Provincial Director po of Zamboanga del Sur.
Maraming salamat po especially sa Philippine Information Agency at sa mga partners natin sa media no, for this opportunity wherein we discuss our programs no, to help the people. Kung mayroon pa kayong mga additional queries, you can visit us sa amin sa Pagadian City. Mayroon tayong office at saka mayroon tayo sa Ipil, sa Dipolog. But of course, dito sa regional office sa Zamboanga City. So, concerns about science and technology, you can always visit our office. Thank you po.
Thank you very much po. Next, we have the Provincial Director of Zamboanga del Norte, Numan Aljani.
Thank you, Ma'am Myra. Kung medyo malayo po kayo sa Pagadian City at mas malapit kayo sa Dipolog naman, sir, pwede din niyo po kami puntahan doon. We'd like to take this opportunity also to tell everyone na sa DOST Zamboanga del Norte po, located sa Dipolog City, ay open din po ang ating Innovation Hub. No? Ang Innovation Hub is an open space where people, even media partners natin, yung mga researchers natin, yung mga students natin gustong maging matalino or gustong mag-create ng kanilang ideas doon, mag-develop, with fellow inventors, innovators na gusto nilang ma-develop yung kanilang idea doon. Open po yung ating Innovation Hub doon sa office. Libreng Wi-Fi connectivity. No? May mga other tools din nandoon that they can use. No? So we invite everyone, if you think, no, if you need space, no, iHub in Zamboanga del Norte is open. Also, we have the new Technology Business Incubator in GRMSU Dapitan. No? So, kung naghahanap kayo ng area where you can be incubated, no, yung mga ideas nyo, gusto nyong magiging market ready, na-mention natin kanina, magiging ready for commercialization, pwede din nyo po bisitahin ang GRMSU. So, siguro yun. Maraming salamat ulit sa PIA, kina Ma'am Noemi, Sir Eman, si Ma'am Myra, and the team no, for giving us this platform no, to share our programs and projects.
Thank you very much din, sir. Next po, of course, the Provincial Director of Zamboanga Sibugay Province, Ma'am Jennifer Pidor.
Yes, Ma'am Myra. Of course, kung malayo po yung Pagadian, yung Dipolog, no, strategically located po in the center is Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. So we have our office there located. And of course, sa mga taga Zamboanga City, why travel? You have already your office here, no, DOST in Zamboanga City, which covers also Isabela City in Basilan. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude today's Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas, we would like to extend our gratitude to everyone present. The televiewers, our media partners, especially on-site and online stakeholders, and the Philippine Information Agency who continue to amplify and recognize the importance of our shared mission. The accomplishments of DOST 9 we have highlighted today are more than just milestones. They reflect our commitment to harnessing science, technology, and innovation to transform lives and build stronger, more resilient communities. These achievements po stand as a testament to the power of collaboration, dedication, and the unwavering belief in the potential of Zamboanga Peninsula. Maraming salamat po for all your time, dedication, and support. Let's continue to inspire one another, collaborate, and make science and technology the driving force behind a brighter and sustainable tomorrow. I would also like to take a moment to extend my warmest greetings to all the women in celebration of the National Women's Month. To all the women out there, happy National Women's Month po sa atin, no? And this is a time really to honor and recognize the remarkable contributions of women who continue to break barriers, inspire change, and prove that greatness knows no bounds, even excelling in various fields including science, technology, and innovation. To conclude po, I would like to quote our DOST Secretary, Renato U. Solidum Jr. on the significance of science and technology. To quote, sa siyensya at teknolohiya, negosyo ay tsak kikita. Sa siyensya at teknolohiya, industriya ay aarangkada. Sa siyensya at teknolohiya, kalusugan ay sisigla. Sa siyensya at teknolohiya, komunidad po natin ay magiging mas masagana. And of course, sa siyensya at teknolohiya, buhay natin ay gaganda. Maraming salamat po, and may we all keep striving for excellence, innovation, and inclusivity. Have a wonderful day.
Once again po, maraming salamat muli sa ating mga panauhin from Department of Science and Technology in Region 9. And of course, maraming salamat po sa lahat nating mga media partners na tumututok po sa ating programa. Thank you very much po. Sa ngalan pong muli ng Presidential Communications Office, Secretary J. Ruiz, PIA Director General Catherine Chloe De Castro, and PIA Regional Director Ms. Noemi Edaga. At sa ngalan po ng aking mga naging co-host sa ating programang Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas, Mr. Emmanuel Taghoy and Ms. Jocelyn Alvarez, at sa buong technical team at sa buong team po ng PIA Region 9 for making all our episodes possible. Muli, ito si Myra Espinosa para sa Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas. Muchísimas gracias.